I find so much of what I do is based on the truth. For just as an example, a week ago, we're known for robotic surgery. People come from all over the country to have this robotic surgery. So we were operating on a person, actually, who had all of the contents of their abdomen in their chest.
Oh my God.
Pretty complicated, but again, we're known for that operation. So people are coming, imagine,
I just thought there's a cancer somewhere, you take it out.
No, there's much more complicated things. And this one is something that I defined, I've worked on for like 20 years. People know my reputation's on this, that we can do this type of surgery through the abdomen with the robot without going into the chest. So my whole reputation has been built on this, okay? So a patient comes, and we do pretty well at it. And we do hundreds of these a year. One of our patients we're operating on, and it's well outside the boundaries of what I can do. Now I have a situation, right? The situation is, do I push this to the point where something happens, which could be detrimental to my patient? Or do I face the demon, which is, I can't do this. The way I am now, maybe a year from now I can, maybe 2 years from now I can. Today, I can't. That is a difficult thing to deal with.
From what standpoint of ego, standpoint of not finishing the job, what standpoint?
So just imagine, so the patient has come, actually a patient had come from like Oregon or something for surgery, across the country. The family is here. You go in and you're like, this can't be done. And I thought it could be done. So either I do it a bad way, which unfortunately is the natural thing for humans. Again, we're flawed beings.
Take a shortcut. If you need to go like this, go like that.
Yeah, and then push the situation so you're outside the reach of your instruments or your abilities and so forth, and then something bad happens and now it's an emergency and so forth. Or you have to say, we're going to stop. I'm going to go and talk to the family. That is the most difficult discussion you could ever have, my friend.
Okay. You've been around for a while doing this sort of thing. How do you prepare yourself for that?
You don't. The only rule is honesty. If I am that family member and my mother is on that table, I want that guy to come and say, these hands can't do this. This can't do this. So I have to do something else. I want honesty. I don't want a guy to say, I did my best, but your mother died. Because that's not good enough. This is a difference. See, doing your best is not honest. You can do your best, but it has to be within the structure of honesty. You can't make sense out of that. You see, you can't be a surgeon who says, well, this is difficult. I know this is not possible, but I'm going to do my best. And at the end, you're not successful. You didn't do your best. Your best would have been look in that mirror and say, can you do this? If you were on that table and somebody else had your skills, would you want him to push forward or would you want him to stop? I promise you, an honest surgeon would say, I want him to stop. So you go and you have the difficult discussion. And again, when you're walking out to speak to the family, again, I go through this many times. When you're walking to the family, your thought shouldn't be, oh, this is going to be a really hard discussion, and they're going to be mad at me, and they're going to be like...
And then how can I soften it? How can I, excuse myself a little bit? When you start thinking like that, even the way in which you end up presenting it is much less heartfelt.
Exactly.
And that's really that gets to the core as well of this airline situation and these conversations.
Exactly. So you want to go and you say, everything is coming out of here. It's not going through some filter. It's like, listen, I know that you have respected me and you've come all from across the country for this surgery, and I am known in this world for this surgery, but I can't do this.
Have you gotten yelled at?
Actually, believe it or not, I have been hugged. They have cried, They have loved me, and I have never, in 20-some years of doing this, I have never had someone say, why? They have said, thank you for your honesty.
You know why? I mean, you know why that is? Because they trust you with everything.
Well, because the trust comes from the truth. They trust me because they know I am going to tell them absolutely the truth, whether they like it or not. And I'm not running for office. I'm here to do a job.
Yeah.
You see? And you know, the beautiful thing is, that doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. And then, for example, so I have to say to them, listen, your mother thought that I was going to do this with 6 little holes in their abdomen and it was going to be very minimally invasive and everything. Now I have to open her chest. And I'm not going to open her chest today. We're going to finish, we're going to let her wake up, and I'm going to talk to her. Because she is the one I am going to be forming this covenant with. So I don't really want to talk to you about deciding or doing anything. I'm just telling you, but I need to talk to her and tell her what this really is, which again, difficult discussion. So you're like, what are you talking? Why didn't you do this? You're a failure. No, they never say that. You think they are going to say that. They never do.
You know what? If you think they're going to say that enough, and then you start like mincing your words, holding things back, being strategic in the way you talk, and you're not speaking from the heart, you're much more likely, as a matter of fact, it actually may be likely that they say all that stuff.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not some sort of magical thing. It's not because you thought it had happened. It's because you thought it, then you started operating on that level.
Yes.
You forgot about the truth, the heart, and so forth, and then there you are getting yelled at. And then it almost looks like magic. Oh, I thought it and it happened.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of emotional stuff that goes on before that happens.
I congratulate you. That's exactly what happens. Because you're worried about you more than your patient. You're worried about you more than your passenger. You're worried about more you. And I tell you, that is the most amazing thing about life, the truth. And you know, just this example, just to complete the circle, when I talked to the lady, she said, I trust you more than anybody in this world. Do whatever you think is appropriate.
That's something.
And then we did it, and she was fine. The difference between the truth and the not truth. Now, the difference is you internalize the pain. You see what I mean? So the regrets, I don't care. Take the responsibility.